Hi, everyone. You're listening to the voice of Waruche, host of the Waruche podcast. Here's a conversation I had with my daughter recently about language. So you can say, you could be like, oh, who taught you? Some random man on TikTok. Okay, so it's very simple. Cello means wait. Mba means no. You could ask somebody, kedu udili egu ina like. Ina like. Wait, but that's English. You could mix it. You could mix it. So kedu udili egu ina like. What kind of music do you like to listen to? I like in Nigeria in Igbo. Do you know that's a very wonderful question? Do you know I don't know? Eli Curry. Like in Igbo. Like, yeah, but that's in love. Wait, like there's no like synonym. Enjoy. Namasirigi. Namasigi. Namasigi. Yeah, namasigi that you like, pretty much. And then if you want to say, how long does it take to travel to your village? I don't know, or to your office, or to your place, or to your house. Do they say town? Yeah, they do, because they have villages. Yes, but like, is everything considered a village? No, not everything is considered a village. You have cities, you have towns where you live. Then you have the village where the village women live. Like where the grandfathers and, no, well, not even grandfathers, but where the great grandfathers and their family members live. You go there once a year or so, that kind of thing. But, what was the question again? Village. No, the question is, how do you say you want to go to someone's village? Kaije village. Kaije obodogi. That's like, let's go to your village. No. Kaije obodogi. Can you understand you? Yes. Yes. Welcome back to the Waruche podcast, where we navigate the beautiful, complex tapestry of societies and cultures from around the globe. I'm your host, Waruche, and today we're diving into a topic both dear to my heart and critically important: preserving Native cultures and their vibrant histories. Get ready for some fun stories, laughter, maybe even a few shocking revelations. So let's kick things off with a little anecdote. Just the other day, I was chatting with my 20-year-old daughter about our Igbo language, the one spoken by millions in Nigeria, but often overshadowed by more dominant languages like English. And guess what? She expressed interest in learning it. I was so proud. And then you can imagine her practicing her accent in front of the mirror, shouting, Ndewono, as if she's summoning a Nigerian spirit. This brings us to our first point. Language is a gateway to culture. It's the key that unlocks the door to people's stories, traditions, and ways of life. When we preserve languages, we're not just keeping words alive, we're keeping entire worldviews intact. Imagine trying to experience Italian cuisine without understanding the passion behind the recipes of this or the stories that are tied to each dish. Do you know there are over 7,000 languages spoken worldwide, and roughly half of them are at risk of disappearing within our lifetime? That's wild. Each of these languages carries its own unique history, philosophy, and humor. Just think about the idioms. Like in Igbo, we have so many idioms, like oku di no wapo, which roughly translates to a word is in its abundance. A word is in abundance.
Or, for instance, my name that was given to me at birth, Nwanonako, which means abundance is yours, right? Sounds pretty relatable, right? Especially when you're talking to a teenager. Now, let's pivot to see why it is important. When native cultures and their languages fade away, we lose a part of our global identity. It's as simple as that. It's like a giant puzzle missing pieces. Like you still have some great parts and some great sections, but the picture will never be complete. Consider indigenous tribes in North America. They face significant challenges, yet many of them are reviving their languages and cultural practices and keeping them intact for generations to come. Take the Cherokee Nation, for instance. Their schools teach the Cherokee language to kids as young as 5 years old. Talk about planting the seeds for future generations. Speaking of seeds, let's talk about food. Preserving native cultures also means keeping traditional practices alive. Culture and cuisine go hand in hand, they're practically best friends. Take the Maori people of New Zealand, for instance, who have revitalized their traditional cooking methods, including the use of the hangi, food cooked in an underground oven. This isn't just a way to feed the family, it's a delicious way to connect with ancestors. Trust me, there's nothing like digging into some hangi and feeling the ancestral love washing over you. Have you heard of the Sami people in Northern Europe? They're famous for their reindeer herding and their traditional clothing called gakti, vibrant and adorned with exquisite patterns. The Sami actively work to preserve their culture through music, storytelling, and, drumroll please, joiking. Joiking is their traditional form of song, often telling stories about people and nature. It's like a musical version of cultural Wikipedia. Now, you might be wondering how to mitigate this seeming loss of culture that is upon us. Great question. Start with educating yourself. Dive into books, documentaries, and maybe even those Instagram pages dedicated to various cultures. You could also participate in community events or workshops focused on indigenous crafts, dance, or even language classes, like my daughter is exploring with Igbo. And there's a thought if you have some time to spare, support organizations that empower Native communities, whether it's preserving languages or educational initiatives, they all need support. After all, supporting these cultures benefits all of us. Today, think about your heritage. Is there a traditional language that's part of your story? Share that with the next generation. I mean, who doesn't want to be the cool parent sharing folk tales and proverbs? That's it for today. Have a great weekend and be blessed.